Tire presented by GC Sports. I'm your broadcaster and CEO, Aquataddy, and with me tonight I have the always talkative P. Colligator.
Hi.
The OG of broadcasters for GC Sports Wrestling League, that would be our one and only Puddin' Knievel.
What's up, guys? Good evening. Welcome. Thanks for having me back. And cannot wait to go north of the border on a 2.5-mile, 10-corner road course. Elevation up and down, apexes, shifting up and down, breaking points. Passing is going to be a premium for these guys tonight on these restarts, especially. But I'm excited to be up here in the booth with y'all.
We have our usual in-race reporter, the man from across the pond, Robbie Racing.
Hello, everybody.
And tonight, a one-off special commentator. We have a treat for all of you. You've heard his voice and you've seen his red sports coat, but Rusty Walrus is here to commentate alongside us for this Thursday night race. Sorry, man. Had to bring up the sports coat.
They all roast me for that. At Motorsport, they love me for that.
Hey, you got a trademark.
Yeah.
So we have, just so the viewers at home tonight know, those that maybe haven't tuned in this week, we have, here at GC Sports, we do things a little bit differently as far as making it to the playoffs. So this is week 11 of a 12-week regular season. Entering tonight, we have Robbie Racing and Sludge duking it out for the number 1 slot. The reason that's so important is entering week 12, whoever is the points leader at that point in time will get to pick the race that we go to decide who gets those ever-important 5 extra points for winning the regular season. Robbie Racing qualified on the pole here at Canadian Tires, you can see, with a 1:16.737 as he bested Country Caliber and Sludge for that pole position.
No surprise for Robbie to be a road course guy. We've hung out with him quite a few times, and he is dedicated and worked very hard. He's even helped a lot of people out there who are normally used to our short tracks, mile and a half, and even speedways, to jump into this road course race and aspect himself. For him to sit on pole tonight, he's had 15 times in this guys.
Real quick, out there in YouTube land, Rusty, do you have on the PlayStation, I know you usually do this on Discord, do you have your voice set to always allow?
Probably do. I do not know. Let me pull up my app right now.
Okay, yeah, you're on your phone, so it would be on. They were just saying they're having it's a little bit harder to hear you. That's all.
Oh, maybe the mic wasn't close enough to my face. There we go.
Okay, yeah, I know. Whenever you're on the actual system itself instead of the on the phone, a lot of people shut their always allow off.
Yeah, let me try to figure that out.
Is that any better for you guys there, viewers at home?
And again tonight, Thursday night, custom guys. We saw some custom guys last night. Again here at Canadian.
Hold on, Puddin', I got a blue screen. I just don't want you to not be heard. Sending the last bit of invites out as the timer's going. All right, go ahead, Puddin'.
Yeah, we saw SBR Bridges last night, aka Nuke Bob to all of us.
Robbie, I need an invite,
taking
yeah.
the win.
Carry
And
on.
that was a great battle last night. We talked about probably one of the closest finishes we've ever seen here at the GC Racing, and then probably that I've ever seen since the Giggity days at Dover with the Paddles and quite a few other drivers. So Canadian Motorsports Park can bring up that fantastic racing for everybody.
Robbie, we good to join? All right, we're going to blue screen. And to go with what Puddin' said while we're blue screened, you can only hear my voice, so I'm going to go ahead and keep talking. But to go with what Puddin' said, we actually seen one of, if not the absolute best finish I've ever seen on console Tuesday night as RJ Smitty. It said Spenker 42, but we know that's probably your dad, and Blakey T battled it out for, what seemed like eternity from stage 2 all the way through to the end of the race. And 3 trucks finishing as close as they did at a road course is absolutely amazing. They were beating the doors off of each other, keeping it straight until the final corner. RJ Smitty and Blakey T got a little loose on the exit, and probably your dad was able to come through and get the victory. Last night was a little bit different, a little bit strung out, but we had 2 trucks that were on the custom side that they were dominant all race, and New Kebab Quantum, aka SBR Bridges, came home with the victory there. But yeah, this should be a good one.
Something these guys have to keep an eye out for tonight, guys and gals, is that left front tire wear, yes, especially on the custom split road courses here. Remember, when you go to that pit lane, you are not allowed, cannot change left sides only, so that left front tire is something to keep an eye on. You brought it up early, 7 to 8 laps of fuel. Robbie Racing, beautiful 00 black, the black and orange Chevrolet's pulling everybody down through the field, making this left-hander up into the bus stop for the first time. Everybody hard on the brakes, down through the gears. Who's not going to hit that rumble strip? Easy on the throttle. Something you have to be very mindful of. Rusty?
I think he's working on his app. Rusty, you got that there?
Yep, that's fine. Robbie pulls out 5 to 6 car lengths right in front of him. Ran directly behind him is that 98 Kentucky Caliber truck right in front of him too. They're going to come down into this right-hander right before the pit lane. Pit lane speed tonight 40 miles an hour. Mindful of the car in front of you, truck, so you don't give them a speeding penalty. 45 gets loose, goes off the track. Country Caliber, the 98 pulls right around him. Here they can the 98 Ford track down that 00 Chevrolet of Robbie Racing as we start lap 3 over here, diving into turn 1. 10 turns here again, 2.5 miles at what I eventually know as motorsport, but we know it as Canadian Tire.
Yeah, quick correction on that. You said the 45 that got loose there on the final corner. That was the 40 of the Bear_95 Pro League driver there. You got a little loose, so that shows the challenge that these drivers are going to have. Some of the very best, which we're seeing all the best on the track here. But drivers like the Bear. Oh, is the 32. That's Racehead. He goes around in turn number 3. That slight right before they get ready to go down the hill, he goes around there. So yeah, the challenge is real here. There's a little bit of a glitch, but it's really going to be as long as you hit your marks and avoid those. But when you're side by side like this, it's really hard to stay on your marks. Rusty, you got a copy yet?
Yeah, I got you. I'm currently riding on board with Mike. Pick up my buddy here. We're right behind him. We have a really good battle with UK Brown. The guys are right on his back bumper as we go down the back straight away here. Like a little sniff, a little piece of that left and right. You got to piece it together on this one. Really got a slight winding corner here. This is like a quick left into the back of the back. A lot of times they looks like they're taking great stuff, guys.
Something to be mindful of too is a lot of these guys might be on a wheel. Some of these guys could be on controllers. You can definitely tell controller guys sometimes on the ovals and the super speedways. I know a lot of people out there who prefer to go from a wheel to a controller tonight on these road courses. On board with DK Brown doing the back vision right there, or the boom vision we normally call it right there. Like Rusty said, those guys were very clean, minor bumping and touching. 21's trying to make a move to the other side of DK Brown right now, goes to the outside. Something else you have to pay attention to is your braking point might be a little bit different than the person right in front of you. So you're going to have to take care of them at rate for you. You're going to have to be mindful of not hitting the brakes and rear-ending them, causing an accident. I know we do not have cautions, we do have stages, but pulling yourself to the rear of the field by getting spun out into a caution on a road course is a long road ahead to get back to the front.
Yeah, something we need to speak on here at the stage 1 that we're not going to see really fuel strategy or tire strategy. There's 20 laps. Each truck's going to get 7 laps to the tank, so because of that fact alone, they're all going to pit probably twice this stage. There's no damage, so there's no reason to pit there, but these guys should not have any strategy in stage 1 deciding who's going to come home victorious. Because of that, you do not want to fall too far off. Everyone's on the same strategy. If you go a lap down, you're probably not going to make it up because of strategy, so you really have to be careful of that if you're one of the drivers out here, as we're seeing some the field's starting to spread out a little bit. Robbie's still leading the pack up here. Looks like he has a pretty good lead starting from that number 1 position. He hasn't had to fight through the traffic, but that battle that we were watching with DK Brown in the back there, that 21, that is Sludge, as he's still trying to get past that 13 of DK Brown right now. He has to get up to that Robbie Racing to try to get his way into winning that regular season championship.
Something that I absolutely love too is road racing. I love the technicality of it. Again, the elevation changes, the apexes, the braking, the shifting, the upshifting, the downshifting all at the same time. Rusty, which one of your favorite road courses that you've seen, raced, or even participated in? Watkins
Rotobacker is the
playing
best track.
another. There he is. There he is. Yeah, Watkins playing one of my favorites, but a little bit biased to Mid-Ohio myself. Too very technical track out there. A couple trucks backing it up here. I see the 22 of DB the best back here. He almost had a little bit of a off-course situation. They managed to collect it, but that cost him at least 10 spots, and that's very treacherous here at this point. Can he catch it up?
Yeah, just so you guys know what I'm doing here with the screen, I'm kind of scrolling through the field right here. I'm sitting on the 24. That's MFF Hamlin Nation. This is his first time here. Friends with Portal Guy, the guy that drives the 26. He brought him in here this week. This is not an easy track to make your debut and try to stay off contact, but he's battling with the bear back here as they go through the what's that U-turn called here? Anyways, they're battling.
I call it evil jump turn.
Yeah, they're side by side going down the backstretch now after Hamlin Nation actually made the move in the hairpin and got underneath the bear, and they're getting ready to go into the final set of corners. The carousel is coming up next. Hard braking point, but a lot of speed as they carry it into it. Let's see how they do.
The 32 and the 26 back here have had a great battle. Speaking of Portal Guy, you better take care of my truck. That is my baby. I love that paint scheme on there. But the 32 does get around cleanly. But that's another thing too, while braking. You cannot lock the brakes up and turn and shift. You're just going to drive straight. So again, you're going to have to be very finessey tonight. 15 viewers out there in YouTube, thank you for every one of them joining in tonight. We always appreciate it. Smash that like, smash that subscribe button. We race 5 nights a week. We also have the PC side. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for that. We'll get back to that a little bit later. This is action here in Stage 1 UC. Thursday night custom at Canadian Motorsports Park is underway.
Looks like Chewy is out of the race early.
Way to go, Chewy.
Yeah, Rusty, out in the YouTube land, Rusty, they said they lost you incomplete now. If anybody's wondering, right now he's not talking, so.
They can't hear me at all. What's up, chat? You guys got me? But I'm cycling through the driver's seat in my spectator mode here. There's been a lot of battles. Some guys aren't even on the same lap, and they're beating the guys in the lead lap. There's just a lot of rubbing, and I love to see that. I don't know if the damage is it is. But how do you guys feel about the style of racing?
I'm seeing a lot of different lines entering these corners. It looks like the gear ratio is really upsetting some of these trucks. Looks like some of them are dropping down a little bit, running too high of an RPM, getting really loose on exits, as well as their braking points alone. The brake bias is such a huge thing at these road courses, and I'm feeling like those are the two things that are making these people to struggle the most right now. But all in all, the racing when they get side by side has been pretty clean for the most part. Of course, people miss their entrance, and the bear goes around again in turn number 3. That little right-hander right behind him looks like that's Travis Tyson going around as well, and here comes Denkate. So Bear's struggling out here.
I'm going to assume, guys, too, that the fuel window and the tire strategy about how you want to work it. Pit lane could be a very busy place in the next couple laps.
I was going to say earlier when Taddy was talking about strategy, stage 2 is the only stage that's different length pretty much. Stage 1 and stage 3 are about the same length. So stage 2, you can make it after that second stop. It's only 3 more laps. So you could pull in with 3 to go at the end of stage 1 here. Start at the beginning of stage 2. Start at the front.
Robbie down pit lane, the 98 of Country Caliber red lane, and they have a long snail trail behind them of following them down. 4 freshies, belly full of fuel to get them to the end of stage 1 here at Canadian Motorsports Park.
Yeah, so guys, I'm kind of a public lobby racer. You kind of pull that trick where you get right before the stage is over. What are the rules there for tonight's racing coming off pit road? Can they come down with 1 to go? Or?
No, so once the leader takes 2 to go, pit road is closed, so you cannot do that little trick entering the stage where the screen's blacked out. That's actually a 2-lap penalty if you do so.
Good to know.
But if you come in with 3 to
Rusty
go,
said I'm
you
not
still
doing that
have
if I
enough
race
fuel.
with y'all now.
Yeah, you can actually come in with 3 to go if you chose to. You won't lose the lap, and you could fuel up completely here in like stage 3, or stage 1, depending on where you are. You could pit with 3 to go and not have to pit at the end of this stage if you plan on doing the 2 pit stop next run.
Now, Rusty, just a thought for you too out there. Again, I'm sure you've done some other commentating, broadcasting, and we obviously know you from other YouTube and everything. What is your favorite? Do you like having a set of rules like that with the damage on or damage off? I mean, what do you prefer when it comes to league racing?
Yeah, I kind of come from a background in strategy, partly because just upset a level where it's so I kind of just like being the main rebels racing. That's always been my preferred method. So damage off, and also like when you hit the like a mountain, I like the draft. I know it's not a popular choice for a lot of drivers to do that. But I like kind of making the game feel like a little maybe. But at the same time, one of my favorite things that I've had to the last setups. And the setups in this game, once you figure out how to rocket ship, it's so much more fun to drive. The sliders that kind of offer just the accessibility that guys are using to play. If you got a solid setup out here, I think that's about
And how realistic is that? One click here, a little tire pressure there, one spring, 10 pounds here, and your car's 5/10 quicker. For an example, the setups is it's very realistic, because we see tonight with a lot of these guys and like tire wear. You can build a 1-lap rocket ship like you said, but you got to be able to come in and at the same time find that happy medium, the long run car tour or track where it doesn't burn up the fuel and tire. But if you want to go put yourself on a leaderboard somewhere, that opportunity is definitely out there for you.
Yeah, we actually, this week alone here, we have a lot of these drivers that have taken over the leaderboard at Canadian Tire in the Truck Series from having a practice. In this last night's race alone, Picola Gator hit the leaderboards with a 16.4, so these guys are flying. And then the pole position for this run alone was a 16.7, and with a 16.6 being an all-time leaderboard, even just the 4 laps they had to qualify with, they almost hit the all-time leaderboard with these setups that are underneath these machines here tonight.
We've got to be coming down, and let's jump into our Australian buddy, the N-Race report. Man, how many more laps do we have before the green and white flag comes out?
They should have another pit stop still. Robbie, you got a copy there, bud?
Yeah, I was just going through the head, and we currently have 11 laps to go. So when I'm up line, 10 to go.
10 to go this time by, so we're looking at about 3 more laps before we see the final pit stops. These 7 laps kind of fly by. It feels like they just pit about 2 laps ago and they only have 3 more to go before they pit, but I mean, with only 7 laps in the tank, it doesn't take long. Bad Fast Marley out here struggling. Last week's winner, he did win off the strategy. He had the speed to win the race, was involved in some carnage, ended up going into fuel save mode and won the race. But this week it looks like he's going to have to do a lot more than just fuel save, as that number 17 Ford is way off pace. But he's happy that Chewy backed out because he will beat somebody.
On board with the 21 truck on Flood right now, and they had a nice little battle going here, diving into turn 1, misses that apex a little bit. I kind of call it the cheater line, even though it's not cheating. Those dark marks going through the corners almost help guide you through that, give you the fast way around there. But again, to get your truck to rotate, you have to have these custom setups right on point and make sure you do it properly. As it looks like we're seeing Sludge do that exactly right now. He nailed that turn 4 perfectly. So he's going to bring it down here, go up through the gears, 4th gear, make the left underneath the the Chevrolet bridge. Going to get on the brakes just a little bit up into the hairpin, down through 2nd gear, keep it off the Candy Kings or the the bumpers. And he did not exactly get that done. Still has a little bit better of a hairpin than the truck right in front of him. But yeah, you got to be able to keep it off those rumble strips. That can upset the truck extremely, especially on custom setups where these guys probably have their ride height set pretty low.
Hey, Rusty out there, you said, looks like you said you think you got it. You want to go ahead and do a mic check, see if everyone can hear you this time?
Yeah, let's get a mic check. I was just watching the broadcast here, and I gotta ask you guys, what is the preferred line to kind of run the top of the hill with the hairpin with the trucks? You guys kind of go like arc it really, really wide and kind of turn it down
off? Do you like to hug the curb on the inside? What's the preferred way to get around?
I think to each their own on that one. I personally, coming down the hill, I try to be wide, but I actually want to use that rumble strip on the inside to help turn the truck. I want to hit that with my right front, kind of use the throttle as well to set the truck almost like you're loose, just to set it for that next one. A lot of people I'll see hit that hard, go wide into the outside candy cane rumble strip, and try to dart it back down. And it's really all preferred on how hard you're trying to get off the exit. And so to each their own. I like running the inside as tight as I can.
I like to take the left sides, getting as far out as I can, as long as I do not have a vehicle to the inside of me, arc it, and then straighten that wheel, and I can get to the gas faster. As we've seen quite a few times in the past, even tonight, coming out of that hairpin, if you get into that throttle too quick, you're oversteering or you're still turning. You know, the vehicle is not straight. So the straighter the vehicle, the quicker you can get off of that line and make a beeline up to that straight line. So that is my personal preference. I like going to the outside, high-lowing it in, straightening that wheel, get back to that hammer pedal, and try to find a truck in front of me.
I'm watching back here. Earlier in the race on stream, we actually saw the 32 hit the jump. It didn't look like he intentionally hit the jump. He got really, really loose coming through that little left as you're coming down the hill, and he overcorrected and just went soaring across the jump. But so he's trying to fight his way back here. He has a fast truck. He qualified in the top 5. He's back here with the 22 at DB to best, which is out there in YouTube land. We saw Sammy Luna is cheering for him. And to answer your question, Hunty, he is on his phone. And so, Clay, that's why he's still not going to be quite on par as everyone else's volume. But they did say they can hear you now, Rusty.
Perfect. And I got to mention, you're talking about the infamous jump here at Canadian Tire. I'm going to miss it for this next year's version of the game because we only have a 2021 schedule. Featured, but whenever we bring it back, that's the first thing I'm doing whenever we can get the trucks on the track. So I'm going to miss Canadian Tire, I'm going to miss NASCAR, but I'm still having fun while we're still at it.
Yeah, we essentially, this week alone, we had a mandatory, you had to hit the jump in qualifying at least. So you only have 4 laps, but we realistically only had 3 laps in qualifying. Everyone chose to do it on the first one, which was really cool for me, right? So I set up these lobbies on Thursday, and I race on Wednesday, so I get to sit back, and I let everyone by, and to watch everyone hit the jump was really cool. And I expected, more of the social butterflies will go in the chats to be the ones that want to hit the jumps, but to see the Bear and Mike and everybody go off that jump, you can't say that wasn't cool. I mean, on my end, to sit back and watch it, it was one of the coolest things to see.
Yeah, again, everybody knows it as the hairpin, but because it is a jump, and yes, Evel Knievel is a giant hero of mine, I still call it the Evel Knievel corner. I know it's the hairpin, but with that jump, it just seems very fitting. Mike RPM, as we're talking about that right now, behind the 13, coming out of the hairpin, hits that rumble strip just a little bit, has the 21 right underneath them. They barely touch, make a little bit of contact, no harm, no foul for them, going to drive it up the backstretch. Like Rusty said, you might be able to catch a little bit of a sniff of the draft, but you got to be real close. The draft can actually hinder you if you're not on the brake just a little bit earlier underneath that NASCAR bridge. Makes a right-hand corner. Mike hits that apex perfectly as the truck leaves in front of him, misses it. You're going to set this truck up, tap that brake, depending upon what you want to do, and what they're trying to do. And hopefully Mike RPM did not get a spinning penalty. We talked about that in the pre-race. One truck behind him hit him down 40 miles an hour. Let's see what happened to Mike RPM on that one as I was on board.
Those 3 trucks have been nose to tail this whole race. Those 3 trucks have yet to separate. Mike RPM, DK Brown, and Sludge back there. And Sludge, man, he really can't be impressed right now seeing Robbie. He's just walking away with this one right now, and that's the last thing Sludge wants to see, trying to fight for that, again, the points lead entering that final race, as we see the 3 of Denkate well off pace, or well off the track there through that turn 3. I'm assuming you caught it?
Yeah, I'm watching the broadcast here. Dekada, I don't even pronounce the name of the 3 truck. He was way off the course in the dirt, kicking up mud everywhere. I love to see that. Hopefully he's having fun and trying to get to the caution here. But yeah, that kind of caught me by surprise. That was fun.
Looks like DK and Mike RPM received a speeding penalty from that contact from the 21 entering pit road there.
it's going to be detrimental to their race tonight. They still got a third stage again. We talked about passing the premium on these restarts here, and we got stage 3 where we can rack them and stack them. I didn't get to say it in stage 2. I forgot to.
It's still stage 1. That's why you haven't said it in stage 2. Broadcaster losing his marbles. Keep in mind, it is hot in the south here in Texas, or there in Texas. You probably had 100-degree weather,
really
maybe.
It was 111 with the heat index.
Yeah, and his AC was only on medium at work, so he's a little overwhelmed here
What
today.
AC at work? Let's get back to the racing action. Bad Fast Marley, that's 17, having a bad night. He doesn't look so fast tonight. I give him a little bit of grief every now and then, but yeah, some of these tracks, at first, too, when I first obtained the game, if it wasn't for Robbie racing of all people, I would have even had Heat 3 to where we are now. Being on a controller, a lot of people liked it. I didn't care for it. I prefer the wheel here, but some people, they just do not care for these road courses. This year, too, in NASCAR life, I do like the more amounts of the road courses, the new road courses coming out, especially some of these very
I don't like it.
courses.
Robbie, how many laps did you say we have left?
5 coming full this time, bye.
Okay, thank you. We're not getting Robbie much airtime simply because he's kind of walking the dog here at Canadian Tire. Interestingly enough, though, I'm riding along with Mike RPM, and I seen behind him is the 21 of Sludge. So that speeding penalty did not only affect the 13, the 16, but it also affected the 21. So he was coming in way too hot there entering the pits. Usually you can bump the guy in front of you, get slowed down, and you yourself make it, but the guy in front gets the penalty. But this time it was a trifecta of speeding penalties for Sludge all at once.
Coming in hot. That adds an extra, 15 seconds, and when, even though we're on the road course, it just gives those guys that much longer to get away. But again, still in stage 1, like you just brought up, these guys will be able to come in, make some adjustments to these custom setups. Even on my custom last night, I made a couple adjustments to it, see if I can tweak it. I know a lot of these guys got a lot of time on the track. They take a lot of time in, a lot of effort, but every now and then you find something you may not care for, so you're like, let's try this real quick.
Out in the YouTube land, we have Scout Bonk asking, how's the race coming along? Rusty, I'm going to go ahead and give this one to you, but real quick, what's your pros and cons so far? What are you seeing that you're really liking that these drivers are doing? What's maybe some things you're not liking so much out there? Just kind of give a quick rundown. I know you're only here for stage 1, right? So it's been a blast having you, and give a quick rundown of the race and kind of your overall perception real quick.
Yeah, I'd say overall the racing has been very competitive. My favorite battles going on the track was between Sludge, DK Brown, and Mike RPM. From the green flag on until the most recent pit stop, those 3 cars were just, they're swapping position, going back and forth each other. It's like probably the best racing you can get at Canadian Tire. As you can kind of see, it's pretty easy to get stretched out in single file and separated by second, maybe 2. But for those guys to be right on top of each other, kind of putting on a show, that's the type of racing I live for. So that's been the highlight of the race so far. They're going to have to work their way back up after those penalties on coming down to pit road. There's a little bit of contact on entry, so it'll be interesting to see where they are on the track after those penalties. But they're gonna, I mean, that might have killed them, killed their race. I know the leader's been checking out, but they got a lot of work to do on this upcoming restart after these pit stops to try to get back in the spots they were in before. But overall, I just really enjoy the competition for these drivers. They're a lot better than I am, so it's always a privilege to watch these guys do their thing.
You know, I gotta say, I keep hearing you say a lot better than me, but when I see that Pro League qualifying, I'm always seeing that Rusty Walrus name out there in the top 10. Just saying.
Hey, that was a little fun run. Back when we did the season 2 qualifiers, my favorite one that I did was, I really enjoyed Mid-Ohio, but grinding Bristol and trying to be perfect at Bristol, like my thumbs felt like they fell off trying to drive that thing for about 8 hours a day. So whoever qualifies from those qualifiers, they're the true talents, they're the real deal, and it's not easy.
So you said thumbs, so you are a controller guy.
Yeah, I tried. When we ran the preseason qualifier race at Martinsville, I tried to switch over to a wheel just to try to be smoother with the wheel inputs, and when I get on the gas, try to get the car straight and punch the throttle. Because Martinsville's my worst track in any video game. But I'm a controller guy. I'll always be a controller guy for console. Obviously, if I do something kind of like Dirt Rally, I'm going to be 100% on the wheel. But yeah, I just love picking up the controller and playing NASCAR Heat that way.
So that I missed the opportunity to try to do the Mid Ohio qualifiers. Like I said, I am from Ohio. Mid Ohio was a 45 track that was 45 minutes away from me. Been there quite a few times, raced motorcycles there, got to do track days of cars there. I really wanted to try to make that one, but you know, work, life, and everything else came in front of that one. And it was what you do out there and what you guys do. We really appreciate it. And again, thank you for being on the broadcast tonight as we watching these guys wrap up stage one.
Yeah, and I gotta say, kind of my job is to promote you guys, elevate you guys in what you do best. I'll always say you're more talented than people like. There's more talent out there than people know about. And if you guys are given the opportunity, you'll absolutely feel it. And I see everybody out there on Twitch and YouTube, just like professional broadcasting talent. So I'm just a fan, and I can't wait to just kind of, like I said, elevate what you guys do, promote what you guys do, and just showcase everything you do for the community. Because you guys are kind of the core and the heart of this game, so I appreciate what you guys bring to the table.
Just a little Thursday night fun here. We're seeing, per usual, the 0-2 of Travis Tyson, less than 5 laps to go in a stage or the race. He is going a lap down to our race leader, held him up a little bit, but Robbie Racing is able to clear him. Travis, you're getting a little airtime per usual. He likes to screenshot these races in the final 5 laps when he's in front of the leader and stake claim that within those 5 laps he was the leader for a little bit.
So he's just pulling over to put his phone up.
Yeah.
This is the final lap.
Final lap, so we're going to go ahead and ride along with Robbie Racing here as he's getting ready to take the green and white checkered. He just goes under the bridge, getting ready to go into the final last 2 corners here as he's going to walk away with this one fairly easily. I'm not so sure anybody has anything for him. However, Country Caliber, he started up front and he was unable to get there, but I believe he held second that whole stage. So maybe a few minor adjustments in pit road and that 98 might be something to compete. But as of stage 1, I have to say Robbie Racing has this whole race in control right now as he is just dominated from the drop of the green flag.
But again, after this restart, anything can happen. You know, he might miss a break point. Somebody might get into the rear end of him, side swipe him, something. But right now, these guys and gals are going to be able to take a break, take a breather. Again, Rusty, you can only stay through the end of stage 1, which was where we're at. Any final words for you?
I just got to thank you guys. I can't wait to be back and do this again. Apologize for the technical issues. That's on me. I assume we're going to be on Discord, but I want to be back on it. I want to be more of these just nightly league races because I share the same passion as you guys, and I want to kind of just be a part of it, get to know you guys, get to know the driver. So once again, thank you for having me. I really good to talk to you guys tonight. Thank you, chat, for tuning in the show, and thank you, drivers. I just can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah. We really appreciate you being here, man. It means a lot, and being able to say, you know, we got the red coat out here with us. Sorry, that's a twofer. We got the British guy and we got you out there. But now being able to say we got you out here, I'm sure it's going to bring a little bit of attention. And again, we run on console 4 nights a week. Anytime you want to get on and hop in for some weekly league racing, we'll always be here, and would love to have you back whenever you want.
Yeah, stay in touch. Let me know if you got any other big events coming up, and I'll try to be back in the booth with you guys. But yeah, thanks again. Have a good night, guys.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Always good time having Rusty in the broadcast booth. Kind of cool being able to have 2 of the very best in the game with Robbie Racing and Rusty Walrus being able to call that stage 1. Unfortunately, on your end, you didn't get to hear him the whole time. But we're back to green flag here at stage 2. Robbie Racing has lost the lead, had some 3-wide racing. They're getting ready to go into the hairpin. He's on the outside of the 21 of Sludge. Here comes the race head in the 32. Robbie back to 5th, gets loose, gets into the 13, is still getting loose back there. Robbie Racing not having as good of a stage 2 as he did stage 1. Now we're going to see what that truck is really made of as he has to fight through the traffic.
That's what we were just talking about right there before that stage break where we got to Rackman, stack him. He did not get the best restart after Pitts came out of third, making us right hand right here. He's got the 20 foot on the outside and the 40 on the fair right there with him too. No contact being made. These guys again don't know if you haven't raced around with everybody where their breaking points are. Just because you might be faster, you have to be slower to be faster sometimes. Take a lap behind them, figure out what lines are running, where they're downshifting, what their breaking points are, then make the move upon that. Just drive it in deep and let her eat all the time.
That seems silly. Going slow to go fast, I don't like it.
It does have to happen.
And like on dirt, sometimes if you're going fast, you'll find yourself turning right. I don't like it. Confusing people.
You leave late.
But, yep.
We will see what Robbie has to do here. From the most talkative person in the booth tonight, JJ, what are you watching?
Mike RPM take the lead.
Yeah, big battle out here as he just got around Country Caliper. That's Puddin's daddy. Out there in the 98 has lost the lead to the 16 of Mike RPM. These two trucks are battling it hard side by side as they go down that long backstretch. Looks like Sludge has gotten back in the battle. Mike RPM clears Country as they get ready to go into this sweeping right-hand corner, aka the carousel. They're getting ready for that left, and then the final right-hand corner, Mike RPM looking to lead this first lap of the race for himself.
22 on the inside of the 00 right now. They don't touch. Very good corner by both of them. That's going to slow the 22 up. The 00 now has the 40 right in front of him. He's got to race the racetrack and not the racer right now and see what happens because he has no pressure from around him. So right up there in front of him. But can that 98, I hate to say it, I love the number, I hate the manufacturer of Country Caliber, aka Daddy. Can he be back down the leader right now? Battle back here also for third and fourth. This is giving an opportunity for the 40 and the 00 to catch up to him. 21 right now, right in front of that 40. Coming down through that left-hander, down hard on the brake through the gears again there, Daddy. And it looks like, I don't know if that was a glitch or Robbie just might have hit that rumble strip, but he got a little loose, pulled right up behind the 40. Nowadays, I think Robbie at top speed, when they can get up there, will be able to get that after get up.
I think that was that weird glitch I was talking to you about earlier. Whenever it seems like somebody does like on their screens, all they're doing is bicycling it just a little bit. So two of their tires lift up. That's what a bicycle is. You don't want to do that. But whenever a truck bicycles on everyone else's screen, it looks like they're having a lag moment where they're left, right, they're on the high side, they're on the bottom side, they're all over the place, they're sideways, they're straight. Like it's weird. It's a game glitch, and then they're going straight again all of a sudden. I was complaining about it last night in my head. I didn't say it out loud while I was on the stream, but it felt like every time I'd go into turn 2, that left-hand corner that they're in right now, see how they bicycle and then you see the 40 looks like a little bit of lag when he settled? That's exactly what it felt like when the trucks would get below you and they're trying to make a pass. They would do that bicycle. It felt like their car ramrod you, going in at 100 miles an hour faster than you and just hitting you, and you kind of get upset. But then all of a sudden you look over to the left and they're on the bottom groove just running their line at the same speed. So it's just a little bit of a glitch on these road courses here in NASCAR Heat 5.
The 40 goes wide, the 00 makes a move, has to jump the curb a little bit, but with that pavement, 40 gets a better drive, gets back around us. The Bear trying to make his way back to the front, as does Robbie. Great battle back here for him, but these guys ahead of him while they're racing is pulling away. Again, thank you to all 14 of our YouTube viewers out there. And Dylan Tibbetts, what's up, man?
That's the real daddy of the league.
Love you, though. Love you, but yeah, you gotta go to bed.
Riding along with Sludge here in the 21. At the time, he's going around the 32 of Racehead because Racehead missed his marks and caught the grass in the second last corner.
The 40 gets real loose coming up that lowest corner. Sorry, Teddy, that gives the opportunity for the 00 to get a power around. That's the battle I was watching. One of the best ones I saw on the track.
Yeah, no, that's great. I was watching kind of that whole 4 truck group right there. As the 2 in front of them was the 21, 32, 32 caught the grass. And then right behind them, you got DK Brown and the new driver here tonight, MFF Hamlin Nation, back there in the 24. They're trying to catch these guys. But it's really a shocker to see the 40 of the Bear had such a hard time in stage 1. Every time I seem to put the screen on him, he was either spinning out or getting loose, and he was just having a really hard time. We seen him back there with the likes of Travis and Denke and towards the rear of the pack. No offense to those guys, but the Bear was struggling really bad. Apparently, he's adjusted that thing well on pit road with just some wedge and some tire pressures, because now we see him up here in the top 5, top 6, battling for a contention, putting himself in the contention to win this race.
Yeah, Robbie gets his way around the 40 again, the 40 now again. When you feel that pressure and you want to try to get to the front, what you're going to do is use your vehicle up again, especially eat that left front up on these road courses, which you can't change separately too. What really is making a difference for these guys is you just got to be patient. Some have the patience right now, and some of them doesn't. And it sounds like I'm echoing. Sorry, guys.
No, it's my mic. Whenever I talk, it's not that bad, but if I leave my mic unmuted, like if I'm just sitting here in silence, it tends to make others echo for some reason. It only ever happens when I'm the one that starts a party. It's weird. But so in between when I talk and when I'm done talking, I mute my mic and it goes away.
And it looks like the Bear back there in the 40 off the track right there, throws a little bit dirt up. Now that's going to be a 3-truck battle. Robbie Racing has nobody behind him. He can race that racetrack by himself. They just trying to track that 21 truck down. The 98 though, trying to get back up there to Mike RPM. Hasn't exactly got to his rear tailgate, but he hasn't let that tailgate go out of his windshield there. Gator.
Nope, top 3 is pretty stout right now. It looks like that for sure. The Bear, to me, is the one that I expected a little more out of him, being a Pro League guy here. But at the same time, the all-time laps were some guys that are not Pro League guys from this league. So it just goes to show you the talent we got in this league, right?
Wasn't the Bear, though, number 1 on the all-time leaderboards?
Right.
Robbie
I
down
mean, look last
so
night.
the green flag's open.
Flash had the fastest lap in qualifying.
Yeah, and then just to end up being a mid-pack, the 23 last night at Flash 9 ended up being about mid-pack. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the people on pit road to go with what you were saying there, Puddin'. And out there on YouTube, Dylan says that he's got his red jacket on, though. This is kind of cool. I mean, honestly, we might be the only people that can ever say we had 2 red coats in one chat, as you had the actual British and you did have Rusty. I don't know if he actually had the red sports coat on tonight or not, but we brought it up, 2 red coats.
Rusty up here, bring his insight, bring all his knowledge up here. So we appreciate him taking time out of his daily life, his work, his family, to come join us over here at GC Sports, and I look forward to having him back in the future.
Yeah, I'm watching the 98 right now, Country Caliber, but these guys are all getting ready to pit as we're going through the pit sequence here. Something we haven't talked about yet. Piccolo, I'm going to lead this one down to you, but this game, NASCAR Heat, the Heat gaming in whole this is it. This is the final Heat game. After this season, the NASCAR 21 Ignition will be coming out. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, we're going to say goodbye to this track, right? We're going to see some tracks that I don't particularly care for anymore, gone. And then we got some new tracks coming in. I'm excited to see those. But as like the physics of the game, you know, I hope we see some improvements there. On pit road here, I hope we can take left side tires. I'm not too big into the paint booth. I could really care less about that. So I'm more into the actual gameplay, you know.
I think I'm excited
to tell from that trailer.
Yeah, I think I'm excited to put the Cup cars on Bristol Dirt, being able to have a league race out there.
That would be sick that way.
Yeah, we're going to lose Eldora, you know, with the trucks, because we're not going to have the trucks. And when they do upgrade, right, because we're only going to have the 2021 schedule, so we're going to have both Bristols. We're not going to have, you know, Nashville come out probably as an update later on. As we see the leaders going into lap traffic, as Marley has now lost a lap to Mike RPM. Right behind Country Caliber, though, we're seeing second in points SMK Sludge. But yeah, so entering Ignition, it is the 2021 Ross schedule only, so that's all you're offered for tracks. Canadian Tire's gone, Mid-Ohio's gone, all the tracks that are in this game that the Cup cars don't go to, but we were offered those these tracks for the Cup cars simply because the trucks in Xfinity go there, which was cool. But yeah, they're all going to be gone, and but there's going to be some new stuff out there that I really think is going to change up who, yeah, and who's good and who's not so good at the game. That could be a huge difference, as with the whole new physics for driving.
Extreme Dirt says, and he doesn't like the aspect of no private lobbies. Again, what's up there, RD, Ohio buddy? He says he does not like the no private lobbies idea. And Bristol on Dirt, though, that is going to be exciting to have in a cup car. To put 500 to 900 horsepower, whatever package they want to put on dirt. Do you turn right, turn left, like you didn't say you like to do earlier? But it's pretty fantastic, man.
Yeah, real quick on the no private lobby thing. That statement on the website, that little last sentence that everyone's seen and is flipping out about the no private lobbies, that was actually retracted off the website. That is no longer there. It now just says updates on multiplayer gaming to come later. So the next trailer and the next information that we hear is supposed to have more info on the multiplayer gaming. So to any other league owner out there that has the same concerns as maybe we did here, two things. One, we've dealt with it a lot where the game messes up and doesn't let you invite people, so you have that same issue. And then on top of that, we of course have that's no longer on the website, so that may not be an issue whatsoever.
But again, I agree with Gator too. The new game coaches out there can definitely bring a aspect to it. Something I hope they can see, hope we can utilize, is that ticker at the top of it. But
Right, we have to get that.
yeah, well, we will get there right now. We'll get back to that coming up. But let's see how these racers are doing right now. I'm back on board with Rowdy Clifford through again the field at Canadian Motorsports Park. Some of the most exciting racing is at the beginning of the stage, at the beginning of the race. The last 3 laps, they have spread out a little bit, so pit strategy has panned out for these guys here in stage 2.
While we were talking earlier, I did see the Bear, DK Brown, and I believe it was Bad Fast. All 3 of them got tangled up in the hairpin. And DK definitely lost the most out of that.
Yeah, Bad Fast, actually, I caught him on stream there. So all the leaders pit about 3 laps ago.
If people in YouTube hear me, sorry, I just got a text saying somebody couldn't hear me.
They can hear you. It's the echo whenever my mic is unmuted. So like when I'm talking and then you come in real quick and I'm unable to mute, they can't hear you.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just informing you that that's what the issue is.
Well, I do want to give a big shout out to Destiny and Christian Disclair out there. They are here in Texas tuning in tonight. Some folks that I met not too long ago. One of the guys, actually, Christian, I work with, have been explaining to him how cool and how awesome that sim racing is, from the iRacing side to the NASCAR Heat side. He actually went out and got himself a wheel for one of his arcade games and stuff. So I do want to give a big shout out to Christian and Destiny out there. Kate and Derek, they're all tuning in here, not too far down the road, but a new subscriber here to GC Racing. You see he's going to have his notifications on. He's like, I want to see you race too. I'm like, I don't know if you want to see all of that.
Absolutely nobody wants to watch you on track.
That's probably true.
No, I'm just kidding. Something I want to throw out. You were talking about Marley, the 40 and the 13 having some contact. I noticed about 3 to 4 laps after all the lead lap trucks pit, the 17 then went down pit road. Now he's really far off pace, but pitting 3 laps after the leaders. You spoke about this earlier there, Piccola. This is stage 2. It's only 17 laps, not 20. It's 3 lap difference from when you go to pit lane, and the stage is over. So he may have kicked it down into 4th gear. Knowing that his winning the race is probably out the window, but he's trying to use some strategy, maybe pick up a few positions before stage 3 starts.
And we have a Butters sighting. We have a Butters sighting out there in YouTube land.
Yeah, just so you know, his name is now Gator Butters. GTR Butters.
GTR, baby.
Is that what does GTR stand for? Just get out of the way.
Nobody in GTR knows what GTR stands for.
I'll come
Gang
up with
of Taddy's rivals.
That's what I said, is it's the group of Taddy's rivals. Also, whenever I'm racing, I'm like, it's go time, and then I'll start taking it 3-4 wide, filling in any hole. And so Piccola then said it's go time. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Fast.
Right, and right, you have Piccola. Yeah, Piccola, Gator, Mike.
I'm so sorry there, Gator. I didn't know you said
The 2 Gators. I mean, and facts will always be facts.
But no, back to the action here tonight. That is something I love about this game and the sim racing world. It brings so many people together, so many great friends, so many jokes. Oh, Gator.
Top 10, I believe Mike RPM still in the lead, was in the lead. We'll try to get that for you, Clay, after this rundown, or after this pit cycle. Mike RPM still had the lead. Looks like him and Country and Robbie are on pit road. I'm assuming that to leave the lead to the 21. We have Robbie in there, but this is a really hard track to be doing the asking the in-race reporter a whole lot of information. They kind of just give it to you as they feel like it is. There's just too many points you got to focus while you're hitting your marks. But Robbie, whenever you do get an opportunity, can you let us know who the leader is?
Yeah, I will do, man. No worries.
And Butters is
Mate,
in
you're
the
on
chat
pit
asking
lane,
how
so look in your left-hand corner.
Butters is asking how Trav's doing. He just got lapped, so that means we have
So
to be
Trav's
within
doing the
5 to
norm.
go.
Yeah, we'll just call that the norm.
How much? Who?
16, 1-6.
Okay, so Mike RPM is still our race leader. Right behind him, was that Travis?
Yes.
Okay, so
With the 5 to go.
yeah, we see. Well, they just pitted, right? So if that was their second pit stop, we're coming to 3 to go. Mike's coming to pit road now. We already seen Country and Robbie pit. Country was the guy that Mike passed for the lead, so I was assuming him to have been in second. I'm gonna ride along with Mike right now. That'll give me the front stretch view, kind of see when people go by him while he's on pit road until he comes out, so you're going to kind of get a rundown. That's the 32 of race head. That may be for the race lead, actually.
There in the pit lane, yeah, 32 going to turn 1, gonna go up and lead this NASCAR bridge again.
Did that put race head in the lead?
They may not be bicycling in the customs, but we see them up on that 2 wheels.
Robbie, did that put the 32 in the lead?
Yep.
Alright, so we're riding along with your race leader of Racehead. Again, Clay, I know you asked for the top 5 or the top 10, a rundown right now during the pit stops. That's we could probably do our best to give it to you, but it would be as inaccurate as possible about 30 seconds later, as with the pit stops, people are just passing each other right now, so... And also...
Pit strategy comes into play tonight, too, on when and how. We are on that 2.5 mile elevated 10 corner racetrack. So by you sitting on pit lane from anywhere from 15 to 16 seconds, that gives the opportunity for those people to pull away from you and try and track them down even on old tires, which we do know old tires do work better on road courses sometimes. It is a very difficult test to do for these guys.
Yeah, I think really the only strategy you're really going to have when it comes to pit road, this one is you could try to extend it and make it to the end, but in stage 3, the only real strategy you can try to do is have good enough tire wear that you don't have to take any tires and just be down there for fuel only. Other than that, I don't really see a whole lot of strategy tonight. The 21 now just went around the 32 while he was on pit road. So again, that might have been a fuel only stop there for the 21, as I'm assuming him to be the lead. Robbie, if you have a second, give me an answer on that. If not, that's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, so it looks like the 21 is in the lead. That's Sludge. Behind him, we have Mike RPM. Trying to get along with him. Right behind him, we have Country Caliber and then Robbie Racing. Sorry guys, I'm scrolling through right here on the screen simply so I can get on the driver so I can try to figure out where everyone is. Robbie, who you got behind you? Wait until after the hairpin.
The bear.
Alright, so we have Sludge, Mike RPM, Country Caliber, Robbie Racing, and the Bear rounding out your top 5. Behind the Bear, we have the 32 of Racehead, who just pit. That's 6th. Then we have the 24. That's Hamlin Nation. First time race here for him. I can't tell who that is. I believe that to be Portal Guy back there. That would be 8th place. Behind him, the 13 of DK Brown, that would be 9th place. And then it looks like Tiller in the 15 rounding out your top 10. That's the best I can do, Clay. All assumptions, but I think that's right.
Again, thank you to a lot of our new subscribers out there. I've just been getting texts again. Destiny and Krishna are out there, tuning in, watching. I tried to get him to come over one night, and he could race under my name on the wheel, but I was like, no, I've seen him drive in real life. I probably don't want him to. No.
Yeah, but we've all seen
he
you.
He can probably do worse than what I already.
Can't be worse than you do.
It can't be any worse than you do. We've all seen you on the game.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Puddin', you almost ran over children in real life.
That is not facts. There's no evidence.
I'm just kidding.
There is evidence.
There is evidence. There is evidence.
There
Google
is
it.
no evidence.
Google it.
Back to the action. The 16 of Mike RPM in this Toyota coming up the backstretch, making a right-hander, downshift and overshoots it just a little bit, probably because he's on those old tires, trying to finish out the stage 2, get himself some points here tonight.
I gotta say, probably the driver I'm most impressed with here tonight, right? So Sludge is in the lead. He's second in points. He's had a lot to prove here. Mike RPM, he's pro leaguer, 4th place. We have Robbie Racing, known to be a road course racer. But Country Caliber in that 98, he ran in second all of stage 1. He's running in 3rd here in stage 2, as you're seeing that little glitch I talked about earlier, but he's competing right now, and he's pushing the issue, trying to get around the 16 of Mike RPM for another second-place finish in the stage. So really good run tonight by Eric or Country Caliber in that 98 Ford.
And these guys do have us one more chance, to try to get back up there in the lead. Talked about it, I keep saying it, passing is a premium on these restarts.
Country gets a run. Sorry.
Once you push your truck, once you eat it up, go ahead and take it down.
Final lap, Country gets a run going down the backstretch. He's on the outside of the 16. This is the outside because the next corner is going to be a right-hander. Mike RPM has the preferred lane. Country has the run, though. He does the crossover. The 16 goes high, 98 with crossover, but now the turn is a left-hander. Is he going to try to do enough contact made? Yeah, 98. Going to avoid the wall, but he has the inside lane for this next corner. As they come off the final corner, the 16 gets loose. The 98 makes contact. 0 goes around. Country is going to get second. Robbie Racing is going to get third. And Mike RPM is going to end up in 4th place after spinning on that final corner. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you push your truck too hard on these custom setups at these road courses. He knew Country was there. Country had a great run. Mike was trying to cut his, not necessarily like cut his nose with contact, but he was trying to drop down in front of the 98 to stop him from getting that run on exit. Ended up costing himself as he overturned the truck, spins around, but still comes home with the top 5 here in stage 2.
I was over the head on the blimp view watching that, no contact being made. I think he just got to the gas just a little bit quick. Hopefully we do not see Cole Custer and John Hunter Nemechek incident again here.
That was pretty similar to the ending Tuesday night.
A top 10 rundown real quick for stage 2. We had Sludge, Country Caliber, Robbie Racing, Mike RPM, Racehead, Hamlin Nation, newcomer, really impressing me there in 6th place. The Bear in 7th, DK Brown, Portal Guy, and Tiller. The good run by Tiller rounds out your top 10, as we still only have one driver of the 15 that started this race, as Chewy lagged out, but he's the only driver that is missing. So when we go green, when we go to do what Puddin' always says best, we will have 14 drivers taking the green flag for stage 3.
And an exciting chance too. Again, a lot of these guys have that opportunity. If they weren't happy, even after the hours and hours and hours they put into these trucks to get it right, they have a chance. But here we go. We're gonna rack them and stack on stage 3 in GC Sports here at Canadian Motorsports Park. Diving into turn 1, 2, and 3 wide. Who's gonna be able to hold on to it? Contact being made. I'm on board with Robbie right now. He has the 26 to the inside of a 32. Excuse me, to the inside of him. He's trying to hold on. Truck's right in front of him, trying to get back to the 98. That is 17. Oh, 3 wide right there, too. Everybody checking up. Robbie off the grid. He was off the grid. 3 trucks off the grid. That's going to back everything up.
The 22 of DB the best got loose. Yeah, 22 of DB the best. He used strategy to get out in front, but there in turn 3, he got into the grass, ended up wrecking and bringing a few people with him. But it looked like the 32 of Racehead dove it in deep there, got into the side of Mike RPM, which also moved Country Caliber. And all of this happens, and we're seeing a huge gap from the 21 back to the 16 of Mike RPM. As the person that's loving these restarts the best right now is that 21 of SMK Sludge. Also note that entering turn 2, that's first left-hand corner, DK Brown missed the corner, ended up on that far onto the apron section, and so he has been now shuffled to the back. If you're trying to figure out where your favorites are running, that's just a quick rundown of what happened on that crazy restart here in stage 3. Kate out there on YouTube said that he also lost connection, so we're now down to 13 drivers remaining on the track.
The 2 Canadians lagged out at Canadian Tire.
Still 2 and 3 wide back. What I do not want to be is the leader, AKS Bloods, right now. All of these fast drivers behind them know how to drive, they know their strategy, and they've got the truck style in by now. I would not want to fight be the leader, but I do not want to be in traffic like what we're seeing. Calibers down in front of the pack, 32 and the 00 cannot get away from each other. One truck right in front of them, diving into that left-hander, off-camber, downhill. Gotta be easy on the brakes. Coming up, the 00 gives the 32 a big old shot in the rear end and says, hey, you hit the brakes too hard. Here comes Robbie Racing. Pull a guy to the inside of the 13 back there. He has to go off track, pulls it back on. Now they're drag racing down the back stretch. Long road right here. One track has the advantage only because he might be able to get a little stiff of that draft.
The one truck that I would love to be right now, right? I'm going to try to get him on screen here. This guy right here, 24 Chevy Silverado, MFF Hamlin Nation. This is his first race in GC Sports. He's racing against some of the absolute best in all of NASCAR heat console platform, and he's sitting in 3rd in his debut race. Yes, it's a road course, but he's showing in and showing out.
On a road course yet, so I'm not impressed yet.
Right, hence why I said he's racing against the best here tonight on Thursday night.
No, that's really impressive. I was already at my eye, but man, up to 3rd.
Yeah, remember he finished 6th in that last stage. We mentioned it, and then DB staying out that restarted the 24 and 7th. With all that carnage that went on, he was able to avoid it and get himself into right now what would be a podium finish. So great run by the 24, but don't look
Robbie
now.
And the Bear make contact coming up into the 10. The 15 and 32 right in front of them making contact. It's still a drag race. They are 2x2, 4 cars deep coming up the backstretch here at Canadian. Sorry to interrupt you. I could not take away from that action. That is Tiller in the 15 out there. He's got a lot of company coming up behind him. Drops those left sides off into the grass. That's going to upset the truck. Seems to be able to compensate, pull it back down. These guys are just unforgiving. It's 3rd stage. It's no holds barred. It's everything you got. Who's got what? Oh, Portal Guy spins coming off in the last corner again. He hits the rumble strip and gets on the gas. Tries to get out of the way, and it looks like he does get him cleared.
Hey, Tad, you have the stage 2?
Yep.
Good call. Oh, wait,
Just trying to get these points so we can see the battle between the 00 and 21.
21-1, Robbie got 3rd.
Yep. Oh, the 17 and 22 back here. They get loose coming off of that right-hander, which would be turn 3 right there. Portal Guy now off in the grass by himself. 3 trucks black. That is going to be very detrimental. 3 of Denny Again, just so he lagged out. This is his own track. He doesn't live too far from this. He is our Canadian, one of our many Canadian friends up there. Not good for him. Travis back here looked like he was just driving that O2 truck, sipping on a macchiato, driving it. You know what I mean? He's just bowled by himself.
Nope, I don't know what you mean. But in fairness, neither does anybody ever.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I got my teeth in.
15 of Tiller being he's running well. He's not giving the 00 a lot of room, or he wasn't. The 00 is able to get around and he's pulling away a little bit, but in fairness, if you're the Tiller, You don't have to give anybody any room. Is Robbie racing for a title? Yeah, absolutely is. But the 15, he's racing for points as well. He's trying to make these playoffs. He's trying to say, hey, I'm a top 10 truck week in and week out. Here I am, and I want to be in the top 10. Robbie Racing is able to pull away. DK Brown got into the 15 a little bit there in turn number 3, and so the 15 has lost a little bit of ground. DK Brown pulling away, but doesn't look like he's catching the 00 right now. Now, qualifying, the 00 had the fastest truck. Stage 1, the 00 had by far the fastest truck. Slight adjustments and carnage on restarts. The 00 has a lot of work to do if he wants to show that he was the most dominant truck tonight, as he's struggling right now in traffic.
I'm on board with the 98 of Country Caliber, aka most people know him as Daddy. He cannot catch these two trucks in front of him. He's still trying to get back up there again, competing for that stage when he's been at the front of the pack. Can he do it? But it doesn't look like he can right now. These two trucks seem to be the Bear and the 32 racing right there, right? So they're trying to get to it, but he can't get it.
Real quick, you said everyone knows him as Daddy. Literally nobody but you calls him Daddy. I mean, I call him Puddin's Daddy, I guess, so that works.
I like that. And when I say that, I forgot to call him.
Man, it gets creepy. Top 5, 6, they've been here all night long. Country is running in 4th. 32, Racet is in 5th. The Bear is in 6th. Robbie Racing sitting there, I believe that's 7th, should be. These guys from 7th on forward, these have been your competitors all night long for the race win. They're, what's the old saying? The cream will always rise to the top. Right now, the cream is the 21 of Sludge. He's sitting 2nd in points, entering this race. Made up a few points in Stage 2, lost some in Stage 1. So, to go with what Clay's saying out there, this is going to be one crazy points battle to see who gets that number 1 spot and who gets to pick next week's race, as Sludge is trying to be the one to be able to pick that race.
I'm on board with 40. The Bear right now makes moves to the inside of 32. I think I just saw Hamlin Nation hit down pit lane. Now, coming off of that left-hander, he hit the grass. I don't know if he overshot, tried to get up there, accidentally went down, or if this is part of the strategy. But if this is strategy, we're going to have to see. On these long road courses like this, we keep talking about the left side tires, the left front especially. Fuel is also a big deal too, where you click down and where you run out. You do not want to run out because that is a long coast back to the finish line. But if that was an accident, that might not be very good for him.
Clay out there said that he believes they're tied right now. No, they are not tied. Pico, you want to give what's the point gap sitting between the 21 and the 00 right now?
Well, I think what he's saying that they technically are tied if Robbie's riding in 7th place. With Sludge in 1st, that'd be 6th as a differential, and we believe that Robbie is +6 right now as they ride.
Right, so that might have been. Go ahead.
If Sludge is in the lead and Robbie is in 7th, keep in mind your stage points are 1 point per position. Your finishing points are 2 points per position. Robbie would be down 4 right now. He would be down 6 right now, as 1st to 7th would be 12-point gap.
You guys do the math because math is hard.
Just so the viewers at home know, and anybody that ever wonders, so the stage points are 1 point per position, but your finish is actually 2 points per position. So him running in 7th, Sludge in 1st, 2 points per position, that's a 6-point gap, right? So 12 points there. Entering this stage, Robbie's up 6, so he's made up the 6 and then made another 6 up. So as they were running 1st and 7th, Sludge is actually up 6.
He's up 6?
Yeah, 1st to 7th is would be 12 points, right? 6 positions between.
Guess what can happen in 1 lap? Anything.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying, hey, this is a really tight battle. This was the tightest battle entering this whole week, as it's only a 5-point gap entering. Robbie gained 2 points in stage 1. Sludge gained 3 points in got 1 back in stage 2.
They both won a stage. I mean, you can't ask for better competition, right?
Yeah, and one of them was leading the race. Well, before the pit stops. I think the 22 is leading now, but I mean, yeah, you can't ask for a better finale of this week, you know, deciding who the regular points. But here's the best part. Regardless of what the gap is, that just is who gets to pick the track for next week. That doesn't mean the other driver is going to lay over and say, okay, it's your title. Next week is the week that decides who wins this regular season title race and gets the 5 extra points to enter the playoffs with.
The key 5 extra points.
You know whose title it is? It's my title. I'm taking it right now. I'm just going to take it off the shelf and walk away with it.
I'm going to send you a gold star in the mail, and it's going to say Puddin's title.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll frame it. I'll mount it.
We know you will. You'll probably get a tattoo of it. Robbie, whenever you get a second, can you let me know who the leader is? Did the 21 take back over the lead? Are you still running in 7th?
No.
Man of many words. Luke's actually right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You should be in 5th now. Is that accurate?
No.
6th. Okay, Mike's up in front of the 24, I guess. Looks like you got around the bear.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say that? That took me like half a lap. Gosh, like you could have. Yep. Nope. Wrong. Yep. That's right. I'm in 6. Like just say 6th. So that now makes right. So on the points level, that means Sludge is now +4. But Robbie is all over the tail end of that 98. If he can get around him, that would be +2, right? So Robbie gets by the 98 and then either the 24 or the 32, and that's a dead even tie. It would go to wins on who gets it.
Wow, that takes me back to Carl Edwards telling me stupid. We still got a long way to go. We got to figure out what we're racing next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. This is the battle just to decide who gets to pick the track next week. That's not even with the regular season title on the line next week. I mean, that's crazy, but that is a huge advantage to either one of these guys entering next week on being able to single-handedly pick their best track to say, come and beat me. It's not mine to lose.
If nobody picks Mid-Ohio. If they don't pick Mid-Ohio, I'm not going to pick any of them.
Nobody likes that track. Except Puddin' Knievel.
It's because everybody loves that track. I don't like it.
Now look at this battle happening right in front of Robbie right now, right? So Robbie is down 4 points to Sludge. He passes 2 of them and they're tied. He passes all 3 of them and now Robbie has a 2-point swing. Literally these 3 drivers in front of Robbie are controlling his destiny right now. Robbie has to be really easy and patient getting through these guys, but while he's being easy and patient, the 21 of Sludge is walking away from this whole group, as that is 2nd through 5th in your running order right there on your screens right now at the Canadian Motorsports Park here at GC Sports. Custom race on Thursday.
Why does that not sound unfamiliar where the English is waiting on the Americans to make a decision?
Of course. And all that these 3 drivers are saying is the red coat is coming. The red coat is coming.
I mean, back to the racing action. Gator.
Over to you, Gator.
Yep.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I had to mute my microphone for just a second. Robbie has been able to get around country. That is now a 2-point advantage for the 21 on the point stat. But he is all over the rear end of that 24. First-time runner here in Hamlin Nation. They're going down the backstretch. This is a great battle on track amongst these 4 drivers. Robbie's trying to get to what's going to be the outside with a crossover now. Still going to be on the outside as they go into the final corner. The 32 of Racehead has gotten himself a little bit of playroom, but he got into the grass. Oh, 24 gets loose, takes out the 98 of Country Caliber. Robbie now sitting in P3. That is tie points for, wait. No, that would only be 4-point. If Robbie's in 3rd, that's only a 4-point advantage, right? So, towards Sludge. So, Robbie now has a 2-point advantage over Sludge.
Anything can happen again. No cautions. Some of these guys might wish they were on, but we do not run cautions here at GC Sports. It's all up to your talent level. You can back up to where you need to be.
But we do have another pit stop looming around the corner somewhere, as they have one more stop that should come with 7 laps remaining in this race. So when we see those stops and they come back out from that final pit stop, you are going to see these guys push these trucks to the absolute max for the first time probably all night. If you're the 21, you're in the lead, you got a good little advantage, but you're going to push it that much harder to keep that advantage. If you're the 32, the 00, the 98, the 24, you're going to push that truck to the max to go get to that 21 truck. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. The final pit stop is just lurking right around the corner, and at that point, these guys are going to give her everything she's got.
I mean, at that point, I'd almost have to milk her dry. That way, I have the 4 freshest tires. We do know older tires work on road courses, but that left front, I can only assume this for most of these people will be in the 20s or 30% percentile range right now. You're going to have to come down. You're going to have that mid 15-second pit stop to get 4 fresh tires. How's that going to? Who's going to come in the latest to get 4 fresh tires and track everybody down? That's
real quick, right, so Robbie is running in 4th. This is something I'd forgotten about. Good point out there, Clay. The 16 of Mike RPM, I completely forgot about him watching that battle there. That was actually the battle from 3rd to 6th, or 3rd to 7th. Mike RPM is running in 2nd, so Robbie would be running in 4th position right now, which would be a dead even tie on the point system.
That's who I'm on board right now is Mike RPM. Out there, very comfortable, with no pressure from behind, no pressure in front of him. He's able to probably save just a little bit of tire, run his line back to his corner stuff, save some tire. But with Mike RPM coming hot on his heels, coming out of turn 10 down the front straightaway, coming down past the pit lane right now, Sludge can now see him in that rearview mirror. So now's the time to hit that tall, skinny pedal on the far right called the hammer if I was Sludge to try to get away.
00 and 32 side by side as they go down the front stretch. Robbie tried making his move. 32 is able to hold him off as they went through that, entering turn 1. 32 goes a little bit higher than the 00, but gets a good run off. They're going into turn 2. The 00 of Robbie Racing now still trying to get around that 32. As Clay out there in YouTube land noticed, Robbie is running in 4th. Dead even tie on the point system, entering this lap and or right now. So Robbie needs to make up a position, and Sludge is hoping he loses a position, but Robbie Racing right there behind that 32, giving everything he's got to try to get into the top 3. Podium style finish for Robbie Racing.
Something that we have seen in real life, we see a lot here in sim racing too, where you don't need that Hans device tight and tight. Will Robbie give him the bumper? Will he give him that English courtesy, right? Isn't that what we've seen in some movies out there? Will Robbie give him the courtesy, or will Robbie say, hey, take this Chevrolet bumper and love it?
Yep.
Pit stops.
Pit stops means one huge thing. They don't have to make another one, as well as 7 laps remaining in the race.
Robbie tries to make a move onto the 32, get in the pit lane. They don't make contact. Hopefully no speeding penalties. He drives to the inside of him, but again, on heat 5, once you're on pit lane, it's controlled by the computer. Who's going to do what time going to be.
I can say that I'm happy that the game takes over on pit road. You know how many speeding penalties I'd have trying to pass people on pit road?
You know how many speeding penalties and mishaps I've had on pit lane on the other side of things? Going down there.
Man, the 00, he did come in hot trying to make that pass on the 32, but he did not get a penalty. I was watching that through the pit stop. I know that's not much action for you guys, but that was a huge fact in this race. The 00 did not get a penalty, but the 32 still comes out a little bit in front of him. Well, I mean, anybody the Sludge is going to say he does is he's winning. The 16 seems to have a really good truck running in 2nd all night. Country's had a fast truck. Robbie may have had the pole, but to say that he has the fastest truck at this point, it's hard to tell right now.
Well, I told Daddy if he's going to run my number, even though he's got a Ford, he's going to have to put some of that Knievel horsepower underneath the hood, so I can only imagine that Ford is running a small block Chevrolet tonight. That's 55, 700 horse Chevrolet trucks. It's the only way he can be fast.
I'm riding along with Mike RPM right now, just for a few seconds, a little bit of this lap. Mike RPM right now, he's not really close enough to Sludge to make a bid for the win, and he's not so far back that Robbie's going to really make a bid at making a pass on him. So Mike RPM kind of playing spoiler on the points right now, giving that little bit of gap that Sludge needs. But back here, this battle with Racehead and Robbie, as Racehead gets loose and hits the wall. Robbie to the inside, a little bit of contact is made. Robbie unable to make the pass as the 32 gets back going. I'm not so sure that Robbie isn't the one that pushed him back up to speed right there. Over to you, Puddin.
Yeah, Clay out there wanting to know what happened, who wins in a tiebreaker. I'll straight tell you, we don't know, because if there's a tiebreaker, we're going Fight Club style in a basement.
Like it.
Robbie trying to hold on in right there, drives to the end. He maintains that line, so it's 32. Maybe that could have been that cool game glitch we talked about earlier with 32 bicycle. 32 on my screen definitely hit the wall. Robbie backs the corner up, going up into the hairpin, into the right-hander. 32 having a little bit of problem, makes another right-hander. Robbie gives him another little nudge. Says, hell, get the hell out of my way. 32 up to speed, so two cars right there, bumping each other. Robbie gave him that little bit of a nudge. Now I think, in my opinion, Robbie's going to have to outmaneuver him right here and wait or push the 32 into the stage.
I'm going to answer that question actually out there in anybody that's watching in YouTube land. If you're a member of our Discord and you check out the rules, you would be able to see, and I quote, any tie is decided by who finished better in that race that just happened.
I still like Fight Club. Robbie makes a move to the inside of turn 1, 32 to the outside. They make just a little bit of a contact. Robbie's still ready to try to hold on to it. I'm on board on the blimp view. 32 gives him the bumper right front to the left rear fender. Robbie's not trying to go out to that white line, because we know how bad that'll pull you in. Robbie's going to drive her in deep and let her eat, make the 32 work around him. Use his truck up a little bit more. Robbie maintains that line and holds that position coming out. Coming down this left-hander, full throttle down, shifting, up shifting, banging gears, hard on brakes, up through the even corner, aka the hairpin. Robbie takes it wide, gets that good drive, but he's off into the grass a little bit. They get loose, they both wreck. The double zero and the 32 make contact. 32 spins around. 98 of Country Caliber gets around both of them. It's a 2-for-1 for the Country Caliber mobile.
And it still keeps Robbie in the exact same predicament that he was in. They are tied right now, but with Sludge winning, that would give him the tiebreaker. So Robbie now has to catch the 98 of Country Caliber. After you can tell he's using up his equipment. He just raced really hard to get around that 32. Contact made 32 wrecking, 98 getting around both of them. He has to catch Country, and he has to make that pass before the checkered flag drops here, as we should be at about 4 laps remaining here at Canadian Motor Speedway.
And that's going to be a difficult task for the double zeros or Robbie Racing to get around Country, as he probably has about 10 trucks coming up once they make around turn 1. Robbie has had the fastest truck all night, at least he did it in qualifying and the first stage. Something happened on pit lane and he fall back just a little bit. Robbie needs to take a deep breath, patience, not overdrive, not do what Country's doing, but Country now has, I'd call that about 6 truck lengths right now, so Robbie is reeling him in, but Country a very smooth, methodical driver in himself. We've seen him win races, so getting around that 98 Ford, it's going to be very difficult for the double zeros. I'm going to ride on board with him and see how this battle works out.
Here's the gap. Sludge right now is getting ready to go into the final corners. I am going to ride along with Sludge until he crosses the line, and then I'll switch over to Robbie. That's the difference between our race leader. Sludge just crossed the line now. Sludge crossed the line right there.
Alright, so they are just now entering the S, the left-hander right before the pitch. Coming to turn 10, Country Caliber gets a little loose, takes it to the high side. Robbie racing in that double zero, drives it down, hits that apron just a little bit, pulls it back in. It is bumper to tailgate as they drive it into turn 1. Country Caliber, that 98, does pull another truck length out on him, but again, I think Robbie's just trying to back his corners up. This is one of the hardest off-camber corners to make, this left-hander right here. Same distance, driving it into turn 4 and then right-hander. Robbie makes the move, drives it in, gets right back to his bumper, can't get the pass done. Sludge still in the lead. The 98 has a big old mirror pull of that double zero Chevrolet Robbie Racing English, Australian, Russian mobile, whatever the hell he is.
3 laps remaining. That's my belief. I'm not going to bring it down to Robbie, as you guys can tell, he's battling really hard. So we're just going to assume that it's 3 to go. They're getting ready to come to 2 to go this time by Robbie in a points tie, dead even with Sludge. Tiebreakers go to the points, or who finished better in that race. So the 21 right now, as it sits, gets to pick the race for next week. Robbie needs to pass that 98, and if he does, he will be your points leader. So this is a battle for your points lead at the end of this race, even though it's not between your drivers that are sitting first and second in points. It is between your drivers sitting, I believe, first and third, fourth in points for countries, right up there. So this is no easy task for that 00 of Robbie Racing.
Robbie Racing taking it easy, going through the corner, straight behind that 98. If it comes down to it, though, I don't see an intentional tank, but I do see the front bumper being used. Robbie, again, still trying to use this little bit, just seeing what country's doing the move, coming through there. Now they're going into turn 4, making this right-hander right there, bumper to tailgate. Robbie goes to the outside, trying to set himself up for that inside line, going up into the hairpin, into the evil turn. It's a drag race. Robbie has a preferred line. The 98 is going to have to check up early, not to get on that brake, or not to get on that apron. The 98 pushes him out just a little bit. Robbie will be able to get a longer line. Robbie does lose 2 to 3 car lengths right there. Robbie has to make this pass, but this is going to be one battle. He just lost. He's back to 6 car lengths. Can Robbie get back up to that 98 Ford to get that decision racing?
And they should be coming to the white flag, right? So Robbie really needed that, but we seen what happened. That was the same part of the track that he was side by side with the 32, where he got loose and took 32 out. We all know Robbie. We know he's not a dirty driver. He did everything he could there. He wanted to stay off him. Oh, he gets loose on the exit of second to last corner. They're coming to the white flag now. Here he has, looks like about a second to gain on that 98 truck. This is going to be absolutely no easy task for that 00, but he's going to have to drive the wheels off of that machine to be able to even have a chance at picking that track next week.
If that 00 gets to that 98, that 98 needs to have 2 Hans devices on, because I know exactly what I would do. I would send him to the moon, Alice.
To the ladies and gentlemen watching at home, keep in mind this is the battle for third, not your race lead. This 21 is Sludge, has your race lead. This is the final lap. Mike RPM in the 16 is in second, and here comes. This is the most important battle on the track, so we are watching it. 00 gives a little bump through the hairpin onto the 98. He has 3 corners remaining to get by that 98, but he's in the draft right now, going down the backstretch, giving it everything he's got to try to get this pass.
The 26 is right in front of him. I don't think that'll play a factor. Robbie and that 00 Chevrolet trying to track down the 98 Ford. They're going to make this last right-hander for the last time. Can Robbie set himself up? He drives her in deep, gives him the bumper. Can he tuck it back in? No. Country comes down, protects that inside line. Robbie's got the outside line. Can he cut it back down? It's going to be a drag race to the finish for the race. Look at this. Robbie's going to get him by half a track place. Robbie! Woo! Look at that! Another fantastic race!
Oh my God!
Park and they custom trucks. I think I just shit myself.
Teddy told us these road courses don't provide good finishes.
Wow! Put $5 in the square jar. I just caught myself saying that, but my goodness.
In fairness to what I was talking about, right? So the leader, there was no contest there for who won the race. The 21 is Sludge, comes home with a pretty easy victory. However, he's going to fall 2 points short of being able to pick the track for next week, as Robbie was able to, for third place, by the splitter on the truck, that front bumper, he was able to get third place over Country Caliber. What a finish, and what a drive by the 00. He set him up. The 98 tried blocking him, tried holding that bottom groove, entering the final corner. Robbie did a crossover move, and it was indeed just a drag race going down that front stretch.
Wow, Canadian motorsport never failed again. Now we're getting into the playoff season, but we have seen another fantastic race. Right now, I wish these guys could have an opportunity to talk to each other and just be like, I can't, I don't know where country's thinking. Robbie's got to be ecstatic right now, but let's not take away from a race winner either. The race winner ended up walking away with that one there. Robbie sat on the pole, fastest truck in the first stage, had something happen in the second stage, and come back to pull that off. Oh, there had to be some strategy being played there. Hello, mate!
Hold on just a second. We're actually going to bring in all of the top four. We're going to bring country in after a finish like that as well. So we got Mike RPM. We're bringing in the race winner of Sludge. We're bringing in country, and we will speak to Robbie Racing last. Even though he got third, and we usually go backwards order, we're going to bring him in last. I think you all know why. Puddin', I'm going to let you start there with Country Caliber's in here now, so fourth place finisher. Once we get back to the lobby, go ahead and take that one. And Sludge actually ended up with the fastest lap as well with a 1:16.2.
Country, you got your ears on, you on always allow?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Hello, Daddy. I hope you have your pants pulled up for this one. You just made me pull my pants down. That was exciting.
Hell yeah.
What are your thoughts and opinions on that? The last 4 laps, you had him cleared, then he comes in, then he pulls back, then you pull him back out again. Mishaps happen. You guys are touching bumpers. You guys put on one hell of a last 3 laps, man. You got to be excited with that, though.
Yeah, I would have been more excited if I didn't get past in the final corner. Yeah, it was a good race. I enjoyed it. Had good racing there with Robbie, like always, through the end. Started up front, and I felt like I had a third place truck. I felt like if I could stay with the 16 and the 21, I could at least have a shot, because I felt like I had the pace to at least run with them, even though they were maybe a little bit quicker. And I know Robbie, he drove away from me in that by like 10 seconds in the first stage, and I kind of just ran 75% the last 5 laps of stage 1, and stage 2 had a good battle with Mike there at the end, and he got loose coming off the corner and got by him. And stage 3, I just got put 3 wide and lost many spots, and lost all that track position that I had. So, but it was a good race. Congrats to Sludge. He better. Also, congrats to Robbie. He better pick a pretty good track for next week.
He seems to go to Mid-Ohio.
I might be there for that. Yeah. But
He did say that.
Okay. I might not be there next week, so.
Hey, Piccolo, you got anything for country? This is the one person you said that you would interview.
Nope.
He said if I won the race, he would interview me, but, you know, Sludge ruined that.
So you just had to do a little better, and then Piccolo would have done an interview. Roger that.
Congratulations on another great finish. You keep your name up there, man. Country Caliber, you're a very top talent here at GC Sports. Can't see what's we can't see what you got coming up in the future, coming in the playoffs, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Over to our second place finisher, Mike RPM. You had a good run. You seem to have one of the top trucks all night long. We've seen you lead most of stage 2 there. Did you just not quite have enough to get up there, or was dealing with the traffic and the restarts a little bit overwhelming?
I don't know. It just seemed like whoever was able to get out front after a couple laps on the restart could just pull away, kind of. I don't know why that was, but that's what it seemed like. And then we were doing pretty solid there. We were maintaining the lead, and I think Sludge took, I think he took no tires there and flopped us there. And from that point on, I didn't have anything for the 21. I was really tight in the hairpin. He was just destroying me, I think, by 2 or 3 tenths every time we got off of that hairpin. So I don't know. The truck was really tight, but it was fun racing Caliber there for that stage. Yeah. I thought I had gas to back up, and as soon as I gassed to back up, she looped right around. But yeah, it was overall pretty good race. Fun racing with the 21. Caliber up there and everything else. So, yeah.
You got anything for him there, Bud?
No, once again, Mike, you've always shown you showed the speed that you have, knowledge on setups and everything. What were your thoughts and opinions on that first stage, though, before the mix-up happened and with just of the randomized from the pit stops in stage 2? Robbie sitting on the pole, Robbie looking really good, Robbie running away with that. Did you think you think that was the race was over at that point in time?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, he drove away from us by he was 15 seconds ahead of me. I know I had spun out once, but I mean, I didn't have any pace for him. And then it seemed like he got shuffled back to like 8th or 9th on that restart, and it just seemed like it was anybody's shot then. So that's when I don't know. That's when it got real. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought Robbie was just going to dominate the way he did in stage 1 for sure.
McLevin out on YouTube, he said, "Good run there, Mike." Just so you know.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Also, I personally want to give a big shout out to you, and I want everyone in our YouTube land to understand this. Rusty Walrus was here at the beginning of this race. He stuck around for stage 1 and helped commentate this race, and that's a big props to you. So thanks for helping us out with that. And Mike, always a pleasure having you in the booth here for post-race interviews.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Can't wait to see what you have for us here coming up in the playoff, man.
Thanks, bud.
All right, on to our race winner. SMK Sludge in the number 21 machine. Puddin', go ahead and start this one, bud.
Hi, Sludge. Oh, well. Good run. Thank you. I'm just kidding, man. Again, what Mike just said, Robbie looked like he was going to be one of the more proficient trucks out there. At the beginning, I believe it was stage 3. The trucks behind you started battling. That gave you that opportunity to run that lead out there, get out there, and that gave you the opportunity to run your line with no pressure in front of you, nobody behind you, not make any mistakes, follow your pit strategy. Obviously, that helped you, but did you think that was going to happen for you tonight?
To be honest, no. When I first qualifying and seeing Robbie starting up pole, I was like, gonna be a good battle, that's for sure. Stage 1, I don't know what happened, but I know DK and Mike, I don't know if they're teammates or what, but they pitted together. We're all right there tight, and I don't know if DK braked early than expected, and we just bunched up all of us. But I do apologize to Mike, and if DK is out there listening, I am totally sorry for that one, for giving you a penalty. And then stage 2, yes, I did a different strategy than anybody else. On the last pit stop, I took no tires and a can of fuel because I lost it going into pit. Robbie passed me, I was like, I'm going to go to pit. And I did my strategy, and then it turned out I won the stage. And then stage 3, I think it was turn 1 off the restart, if not turn 2. Everybody kind of bunched up, and I pulled away, hit my marks, tried to anyways. And at the end, I got a little nervous. I took it easy, and then finished strong.
And you did finish strong, obviously, taking that black and white checkered. Now, that's something I have done in the past, like Watkins Glen come in field only. Tire management on road courses, not being able to take left sides is a big thing, especially in a custom setup where you build the car to go fast or the truck, for example, like that. So kudos to you. You obviously very trusted your setup very much to take that can only. It has happened to me in the past. It's helped quite a few other people in the past. But to come out with that tonight, man, congratulations. And again, working your way up through everything, man. Nobody can't wait to see what else you got going on.
Real quick before we get out of here, Sledge, I don't know if you were listening to the broadcast. We were keeping a tight watch on the points battle as you entered with a 5-point gap after the 2 stages were over. Kind of cool. Both our guys running for the points lead here. Won stage 1. You won stage 2. You entered stage 3, 6-point differential. Unfortunately, with Robbie coming home third, you lost entering the pick the race for next week. You lost that by 2 points only, as the final race is worth the final part of the race is worth the 2 points. However, I do want to know where you were going to pick.
If I would have won points, I would have picked Darlington.
Oh, I like your style. I hate that track. I would have been too
By Patty telling me Robbie won by 2, FanU country. Oh, he's not even here. But yeah, congrats to Robbie for winning the championship. I also want to thank McLovin. He's been helping me a lot, and he pretty much told me I had the driving to win.
JCR Sludge.
Like my kryptonite, man. McLovin's like my kryptonite. Why you gotta be thinking all going on out there?
JCR Sludge in the booth here with us. No, I'm just playing. Hey, real quick, just keep in mind, with that strong finish and that win tonight now, that actually puts you tied with Robbie with 2 wins apiece. That also leaves you 2 points behind Robbie entering the final race of the regular season. But whoever ends up with the points lead after that race has an extra 5 points coming their way entering the playoffs. So you're still in this for sure, and here shortly we'll figure out which track we're headed to.
Yep. Yeah. To answer your question about why you got to thank John, I think it was the first Taddy League. I don't know if he did the second one, third one, but during that process, John drafted me out of the development. And since then, I was with him, and yeah. So all the hard work that he does to help me, it goes to him.
And I have absolutely nothing against McLovin. I've talked to him on FaceTime with him. I consider him a friend, but he's just my kryptonite of road courses. Everybody knows I love road courses every time. Old McLovin, I see you out there. You're still on YouTube playing. You're listening, buddy. McLovin's my kryptonite. That's all I'm saying. But no, John's a great guy. I've talked with him on FaceTime with him. He's very knowledgeable about setups in the game and everything like that. So if you're in cahoots with old McLovin out there, you're in cahoots with good company. Anything else there, Taddy?
No, that's gonna do it. Thank you. Sludge, again, always blessed having you up here, same as Mike and everybody. Great run up there. To come home victorious at Canadian Tire is not an easy feat, so congratulations to you. And, McLovin pushing you and all that good stuff, so congratulations there, bud.
Thank you.
Over to our third place finisher here tonight. Puddin', you had a lot of excitement there in the end of the race. So actually, Clay wants to clip that and get it sent in on how much excitement you had. So we're going to send this one over to you.
My excitement wasn't necessarily between the drivers that I know or don't know, but it was the drivers competing. How competitive that was. How methodical everybody set each other up there was. All right, so let me get that right straight. Everybody knows Robbie's my buddy. I'm happy for my buddy. But if he would have got beat, he would have got beat. But the way that came down, coming down to it, if anybody out there ever remembers the name Millsy and I had a finish like this exactly in that same corner, coming out like that. It was just... How could you not be excited to see side-by-side dragways? Not somebody spin, not somebody miss a corner. They both did what they had to do. It was as clean as you could be, touching his, rubbing's racing, as we've all heard. I'm just saying, I was excited to see that finish, man. That just the way it ended up.
Okay. With that said, yeah, Robbie, third place finish. You have a 2-point lead after tonight. You got to feel pretty good about that, yeah?
Yeah, feeling pretty good about it. I mean, the points can't be any closer. I mean, we've got, one more race to go, and the pressure's definitely going to be on. First off, I'd like to congratulate Sludge on his win, and he had a great run tonight. He had a great truck. Caliber, as always, it's a pleasure running with you, bud. You always run me clean, and you're fantastic to drive around. My race, stage 1, it went really well. I got up front and I managed to stay there and I was able to run my line. Stage 2 and 3, got into a bit of traffic and, took a few bumps here and there, but we managed to get third place in the end. So, happy days, really.
Okay, I just want to throw out there on the broadcast, we watched you take out the 32 truck, and because of that, you've actually been docked 52 points. So we're going to Darlington. No, I'm just playing. You got loose. His heart probably just sank. But a little bit of contact between you and 32. You were racing really hard. Looked like you just got loose on the exit there, and unfortunately, the 32 is there. But because that happened, the country was able to get by you with a pretty good gap over you. So, were you thinking at that point in time you were in trouble, or that just make you focus and race even harder?
Oh, well, a bit of both really. Getting into the 32, yeah, I got loose coming out of the corner. It was hard racing for about 9 laps. I was pushing it a bit too hard coming out of the corner. I spun out, so I do apologise, Racehead. I didn't mean to get into you, but
Who's calling Rex Head or Race Head?
Racehead.
I thought you said Rex Head.
He just talks funny. He's British.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know, it's red coats and all that. In fact, Rusty, I want my jacket back. So.
All right. Well,
Wow, that just went too far.
Robbie, I got to ask. So you did win. Entering next week, you are the points leader. You have a 2-point advantage, so whatever this decision is could make or break your season, essentially, as this is a huge 5 points on the line for whoever the points leader is after next week. So with that said, what racetrack will we be going to next week on Thursday nights in the Custom Truck Series?
You say it when I'm flying over there and punching you in your mouth.
No, it's not that track. It's a track that's not used often. It's a track that's going to give us, an even field, I believe. We are going to WWT.
Whoa! Oh my God! I love it.
To those that don't know, a WWT, that is Gateway, which is actually only in this game because of the truck. So this is a truck regular track, so that is going to be amazing to see. And Robbie's not wrong. Not a lot of people use it. It's kind of similar to a New Hampshire and a Martinsville mixture. So that's going to be an interesting race next Thursday night. So don't forget to tune into that. And again, it will be the most exciting points as far as the gap difference, as they're entering next week with a 2-point differential to decide who's going to get a 5-point advantage entering the playoffs next week.
Tune in
2 weeks later.
Tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern for Jerry Springer, because Racehead just came in and said the 32 didn't wreck. Got put in a wall by the 00. Drama going on.
Did he put that in YouTube?
I'm looking at it, so I read it.
No, I'm not by my phone. That's what I was asking. Yeah, we seen a race that I didn't mean that you wrecked. We seen the 00 get loose. It was actually on stream. We seen the whole thing break. So that was an unfortunate event there. But next week I will be informing the drivers here in just a few minutes that everyone will be headed to WWT Gateway Speedway. This is gonna be an interesting one. There's a lot of strong braking zones there, so a little bump and run may happen.
Put your road race brake package on with your high horsepower straightaway and keep on. And don't forget that going down the back stretch, there's a little bump out where everybody drives on the track. Don't smack that and go to the taco.
All right, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow night as we have iRacing as well as our usual broadcaster. Grim will be out there giving you the play-by-play. I'm not sure what track you guys headed to. Kansas, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna show up, download it, and run it. So I don't know. I haven't even
All right.
We're going to Kansas. We're going to have that.
All right. Well, tune in tomorrow night to the iRacing side of GC Sports. Is that they always put on one heck of a show out there too, and they've been doing a lot of recruiting racing events here. So from everyone here on the console side, until next Monday, we're gonna call this week adieu, and we'll see you back next week as the Slider guys get to go to Road America and. Then New Hampshire next week, as Picola picked Road America as he's trying to win the regular season title over there on Monday.
Yeah, so I got something for him in the Slider.
So thank you guys, and tune in next week and tomorrow night for the iRacing. From all of us here at GC Sports.
Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Patty. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and so from everyone here at GC Sports, we're going to call it a night. Thanks for tuning in. And Puddin', go ahead in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.